Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Cultural Coast. I'm Reverend Theresa and I'm so happy to be here with you this morning. I'm teaching this thing called Science of Mind. It's a way of life. It's a philosophy focused on ancient universal spiritual principles, namely that one of oneness, that there's a unity in the universe. And that unity creates an immanence of divinity. That right here where I am is the fullness of source, spirit, essence of life, whatever we choose to call it, God. And right where you are is the same, the fullness, full access in, as, and through our lives all the time. This is the truth. And we've been love streaming about this truth for 17 months, just about 17 months. And last Sunday, we had a hybrid where we were in person, in the same room, and yet still here love streaming. And it was very exciting. However, in light of local COVID conditions here in Sarasota, Florida, we felt that it was best to hold off from any more in-person meetings, group meetings, until we've seen the infections decline. And we held an impromptu Zoom meeting to discuss this, to share our ideas, and reached a consensus very, very easily. But we still have a special Sunday planned for you. We have the music of Emily Ross. We have the spoken word of Angel Peace. And those two women together came up with our theme for this morning. At that time was, because we were going to be in person, the idea was come together. The theme was come together. But you know what? We still come together. We come together in spirit. We come together in heart and mind. We come together here through technology, which I continue to be so grateful for. We are using our new camera, and albeit we're in my dining room, you know what? We're still coming together. And that's a blessing. Last week, we focused on 3 of our 4 core values: peace, love, and creative self-expression. And this week we're going to focus on community. What better than coming together in community? So we're going to look at that 4th core value together this morning. And let's take all of that, possibly our disappointment of not being in person together, because it was beautiful. We had 45 people in the room. It was a lot of fun. And then we had more online. I hope all of you are with us this morning. So let's take this idea of coming together, this idea of being in community, into prayer. Knowing that everything that is needed for each one of us to feel seen, heard, and appreciated continues to unfold and is found within community. Whether we are physically in the same location or not. Because what I recognize is that there is only one thing ever happening, that divine impulse of life coming into form from that infinite invisible. It is always in motion. It is always moving in, as, and through each one of us, for we are its divine incarnation. And so that oneness, that sense of unity envelops each one of us here and now and all the times, not just on Sunday morning. There is that which is expressing itself everywhere, and it has multiplied and diversified itself. Ooh, so I open my heart and my mind to a greater experience of that reality. Releasing all fear, all worry, all anxiety, all disappointment, all fatigue, all the naysaying that goes on in my head. And I find comfort. I find tremendous comfort in this moment, knowing this oneness, this unity of all life, recognizing that I am never alone, never separated from the very source of my being. I know that now. And I affirm for each person tuning in and every person everywhere that this is in fact our felt reality. This is in fact our experience of life. Each person is immersed in, filled with, led by unconditional love, tremendous peace, an urge and an unstoppable expression of the divine. And we each find community everywhere and nowhere. Because there is that connectivity at all times, in all conditions, for all people, at all places and circumstances and conditions. I know this now, and so I let it be. I release this word into the law, into the mind of God, where it is already so that we have this experience of this truth. And so it is. So I am extremely grateful. As I said, we've got Emily Ross and Angel Peace with us this morning. And Angel is going to start us off with a beautiful spoken word reminding us of that divinity all the time. Angel.
Hello. It is wonderful to be with you this morning. As many of you know, I was going to be with you in person, but due to current circumstances, we all decided that it would be best for me to stay safely at home in Cincinnati. So I am forever grateful that I'm able to tune in with you via technology, and I am grateful that we're all still able to come together and share in this beautiful community and in this love and this presence. So I'm going to be sharing with you today a piece of mine called You'll Find Me There. Again, my name is Angel Peace, and I'm happy to be with you today. Embrace life, you'll find me there. Go out and live, you'll find me there. Explore the cracks and the crevices and the places that you think I'm not, you'll find me there. The spaces in between, I'm there. The darkness, I'm there. The hurt, I'm there too. Find me because I'm there. Explore me and discover me. Trust me and embrace me. I'm here. I've always been here. You'll find yourself. Embrace life. You'll find yourself there. Go out and live. Explore and be brave. You'll find yourself there. Erase your limitations. You'll find yourself there. Not in the lines that you drew, but in the ones that you erased. In the lines that you crossed and the ones that you were brave enough to ignore. That is where you are. That is where I am. For we are one. Trust me and trust yourself. Feel my love, my faith, and my energy running in, through, and as you. Feel the pull and feel the drive. Follow that passion and follow my push and leap. Let go. Let yourself be held. You don't have to carry the world, and you're not doing it all on your own. Let it go and hand it to me. I've always been there to carry it. So trust me, embrace me, hand me your fears and let yourself fall. Let yourself feel and let yourself fly. Embrace it. Feel my cradle and love yourself. For you are truly divine. For you are me and I am you. So why the separation? Why the lines and why the need for explanation? For we are, I am. Be still and know. Know yourself and know me. Express yourself and express me. Find yourself and find me. For you are glorious. Shine brightly and explore. Cross lines and set boundaries not made of fear but of respect. Set from knowing me. That, my darling, is when you are finally free. Thank you.
Hello. This is a song of mine called Colors. It's a song that I wrote about all of the beautiful magic that happens in the universe, and the same magic exists within us. So this is a song to remind you of that. Here you go. Underneath the stars in the night sky, looking up, I just see black and white. If I could fly to them, I'd find galaxies with rainbows intertwined. Oh, and all along the colors burst so bright. Clouds of amber, blue and silver light. Colors burst from stars when they die. I think I might feel like them inside. Are we galaxies in smaller size? Oh, and all along the colors change like falling leaves from autumn trees, and all along the colors burst so bright. The colors change, ooh, they rearrange, ooh, the colors change, ooh, they rearrange, ooh, Stars and planets growing every hour. Spirals spin through us and every flower. Supernovas burst with light, making brand new suns. The colors when they're done. The colors when they're done.
Oh, thank you, Emily. God, thank you so much. The colors, the varieties of life. Yes, the varieties of life. We find ourselves forever connected to Source, forever having that strength and that love available to us, as Angel and Emily remind us. But sometimes we need reminding, right? That's why we come together in community. That's why we do this. They've both reminded us this morning that no matter where we go, no matter what the colors, no matter what the situation and circumstances we find ourselves in, we are immersed in, filled with, have available to us that strength, those resources. And man, do we find them when we're in community, in spiritual community, and reminding each other, holding each other, supporting each other as we go through our life's circumstances. Yeah. I need reminding. This week I went to one of my mentors, Reverend Jim Lockhart. I went to his book, Creating the Beloved Community. I love this book. I have read this book so many times. It's tattered, its pages are marked, all kinds of colors of highlight in them. And in there, I read something that really, multiple things that just helped me remember this week. Here's one of them. He's talking about the beloved community as people on a spiritual path, he said, who seek a closer relationship with God, whatever we choose to name God. And as people who take their spiritual awareness then into the world to be examples of love and compassion in action. He goes on to say, it's about walking your talk. And that is really the community I see us as. I really see that. You know, I say often this is a 24/7 way of life. This is not Sunday go to meeting, get your fill, and then go on about doing things that contradict what the teaching is. It's about living it. But it's not always easy, is it? It's not always easy. There's times where you want to give up, where you don't feel like you have the strength to hold your head high. That's why we need spiritual community. You know, I hear lots of people talking about it. I'm reading it on the minister's listserv. I'm reading my colleagues saying, oh my God, I'm so tired. Right? I started last week's talk that way. I'm weary. I'm weary. All of us are. I think people are really tired. They're tired of the conversation. I'm particularly tired of the fighting. battle lines are being drawn everywhere about everything, it seems like. And in the midst of all that, people are sick and people are dying. Families are changing. I've been talking about this topic for over a year and a half now. And I don't know, some days I feel like it's getting worse. And I recognize that I potentially upset some people this past week with the decision to not open today, to not be back at the Sarasota Garden Club. And as I open with, I found solace in Reverend Jim's book. I found solace. He talks about the beloved community as a place to reveal and heal places where we feel we've failed. And oh my God, was that me in the last few weeks? Really, because it was early June. You've heard me mention this, but I feel like it bears repeating. It was early June when the board and I made this decision to open back up. And when we started all the fundraising to make sure that we had equipment so we could do both in person and live. And at that time, there were less than 10 COVID patients in our local Sarasota hospital. And today, well, actually, I don't know today's, but as of Friday, there were 170 in the hospital. And that's a significant difference. And so when Bobby and I were sitting on Monday debriefing after Sunday's in person, and again, it was just fabulous. We were talking about, what went well, what we wanted to tweak, and that kind of thing. And I said, we've been closed 17 months, and we opened on the worst Sunday yet. And we both kind of said, wow, that doesn't really make sense, does it? It changed quick, and we didn't necessarily see that coming, and we didn't necessarily have a plan in place that what if things change drastically right before we're ready to open the doors. So in hindsight, we're sitting in the living room going, gee, what do we do now? And it felt overwhelming to both of us thinking about making that decision. But in the beloved community, in a spiritual community, in this thing called science of mind, we have tools. And it is about living, as I just said, 24/7. It's bringing these tools into the reality of what our experience is in the moment. So it's about plugging in, and it's about reaching out when you're in community. And in my frustration, in my confusion, and in my disappointment, that's what I did. And for me, it requires radical honesty for me to understand how I'm feeling and to be able to share that. And it requires of me to keep in mind that my ministry is one of relevance. It has to be one of relevance for me. I need to be able to use this teaching in my life. It has to be applicable to my life and to your life. And so I was going through that process and looking in the midst of all that for the universal truths that I could hang my hat on, that I always hang my hat on. And being that highest expression of divinity in every given moment. I hope you are busting out laughing right now, because that's impossible. It's impossible for me. It's impossible for every one of us, I think. We have the best intentions, don't we? We have the best intentions to live this teaching in every given moment. But it requires of me personal inquiry. And then it required of me collective inquiry. I had to go back to you within the community. And so I put together a really quick impromptu meeting, sending out text messages, and Bobby and I got on Zoom Monday evening and said, tell us what you think. share with us what you're feeling. And I mostly reached out to people that had been in the room on Sunday. A lot of those people I know were really hungry to be back together. And I really wanted to hear what they had to say. And the consensus was reached really easily that we needed to return online. It was a vote for safety. It was a vote for love. It was a vote for our community. But it wasn't without deep inner work for each one of us, and which is ongoing. We're always becoming a clearer vessel for spirit. We're reminding ourselves and bringing ourselves back and remaining a clear vessel for spirit. We're returning to spirit, however you want to see that. But it is a constant practice, really, to check in then on what's really true, what we're feeling, and then what's really true behind that. And for me, I also have that concern and care that everything I'm doing is still within the core values that Spirit gave us, that Spirit delivered through us as we were beginning this community. Our core values of peace, love, creative self-expression, and community. And last week we spent time on the first three, looking at that, actively learning that what our community is about actively learning that peace and love are qualities inherent within us. They're attributes that we live within, that live within us and that we live within. And so we want to constantly be cultivating an awareness of peace and love in every situation towards ourselves and towards each other, and be then vibrating at those frequencies. Yes, vibrating at the frequencies of peace and love so that we are a healing presence. It impacts not only our lives, but everybody we touch and our complete environment and the world when we're doing that. And so we want to seek opportunities to then radiate that, the peace and love and that authentic expression of spirit that wants to move in as and through us to be who we came here to be. And that's what we spent last week about. And this week we're looking closer at that idea of how we do that in community, of what community means to us. The definition of community is a group of people living in the same place, which we're all over the world now, which is just fabulous to contemplate. I saw that Claudia was on here this evening. Good evening, Claudia. Morning for us from Austria. So a group of people is people that live in the same place or have particular characteristics in common, which of course is what we have. There's a feeling of fellowship around these ideas of peace and love and creative self-expression and doing that in community. There's a camaraderie around our core values and what we believe about life and how we want to live life, how we want to show up in life. So this core value specifically for CSLCC of community is that collectively we recognize the universal spirit is life. Within all and through all, it is all. That's first. And then we respect all life. We have a reverence for all life because we know that it's spirit expressing. And then we actively participate in endeavors that represent those beliefs in our personal lives and out in the world, that we're engaging and friendly, embracing and welcoming, as we certainly were last week, to everyone. That means we embrace diversity and individuality. We respect that as spirit expressing. And we allow our authentic selves to be seen, heard, and loved. That means even on a not a good hair day. You know what I mean? That means even when we're disappointed, even when we're angry, even when we're sad, when we're grieving, whatever it is. That's in the fullness. That's all the colors like Emily sang about, all the varieties of life. And to know that we bring ourselves into a safe community environment when we do so, that everybody can feel safe expressing who they came here to be. And that we look upon each other accepting and respecting, seeking a level of understanding if we feel a disagreement. This is so fabulous to think that we can do this and create in community and help the world get to that place. Yes? Oh my God, I want nothing less than global transformation out of this. Are you up to it? Oh my God, I hope you're up to it. Because to me, I am so tired, as I said last week. I am so saddened by the hatred that I see continuing in our world, the categorizing, the labeling, the separating, the demonizing. I hear it in normal conversations. I hear it in myself at times, talking about, well, vaccinated or unvaccinated people. Oh my God. I saw envisioning this week. I was visioning with, I'm on the Centers for Spiritual Living visioning team, and we came together to vision just in general for the Centers for Spiritual Living, for us globally as a global movement. And the one question, and so that's what we weren't visioning about COVID, we were visioning about the Centers for Spiritual Living. And we got to the question, what am I to embrace? What am I to embrace? And I had a visual of people in a hospital, in hospital gowns, in hospital beds. And there was a big group that were unvaccinated people, and there was a small group of vaccinated people, and they were separated. And my heart was breaking as I was seeing this. I was having a visceral feeling of love for everyone. We're beyond pointing fingers. We're beyond blame. We're just in a place of love. I know we can get there. I had a felt experience of it this week. I know we can get there as a community and as a culture, as humanity. This week I had a cousin die in my family. We've got a couple other people that we know of in our family that have COVID. I get so saddened that it is seen as a political condition instead of a health condition, viewed from a place of unity and oneness and concern and compassion and care for our fellow people. Can we apply our core values to the world right now? I hope so, because again, I'm tired of the fight. Tired of the fight. Science of Mind teaches oneness within the allness. Oneness in the allness. Oneness with the allness. One with each other. And we offer tools to demonstrate this in our personal lives and collectively. We need to be on it, folks. Let's be visualizing that. Let's be visioning that. Let's be praying about that. Let's be treating about that. Because when I remember these tools, when I remember our oneness, man, I'm energized. I'm not tired anymore. I'm energized. I'm energized. We're here to remind each other of that. Look, we're seeing it in the young people right now too, in our young adults. Oh my God, my heart is so filled to overflowing with how Emily shows up in her music, how her boyfriend Matthew showed up for the last 2 weeks, and what they're all about with their music and their craft and their talent and their gifts that they're giving. And Angel giving of her heart as she does. The creative self-expression. You've met Jesse Powers, another 30-something-year-old, right? Right? We're coming together all in community around this. So I want to say to you, if you are feeling tired, weary, if you're feeling low, please reach out within this community. This is your beloved community. If you're brand new today and you don't know who we are, it is still your beloved community. This is a community that's fostering a consciousness of compassion, of love, of connection, a consciousness of wholeness and healing. We are pioneers. We are evolutionaries. We are emerging into our greater yet to be. Yeah. Through mutual love and support and respect. And we are resilient. We are possibilitarians. We are possibilitarians. Immersed in infinite possibility. Creating a world that works for everyone. Everywhere. All the time. Know that you are loved. Know that you are loved. And we're going to go back to Emily.
This next song's another song that I wrote. This one's called Unbound, and it's about how nothing ever really dies. It just takes a new form, and how we're all connected. So you should never really feel alone, because there's so many of us and we're all connected to each other. So here's Unbound.
Mighty oceans in the air, a fallen tree, its dust flies everywhere. Nothing's bound. Birds soar 'cause they are free, losing feathers in the breeze. We love all that we need, and yet everything will leave. We hold on screaming loud, afraid to be unbound. But we have just begun to let ourselves enjoy this rush. Pieces will break from all of us, but when we find that we're combined, we won't feel left behind. A fire burns the forest back to green, and ash was once a part of all we see. It moves around. A tired man lays down to sleep. It's the end of his journey. We close our eyes to what this means, afraid of what we see, saying hold on, screaming loud, afraid to be unbound. But we have just begun to let ourselves enjoy this rush. Pieces will break from all of us, but when we find that we're combined,
Hello, I'm happy to be here with you again. The next piece that I'm going to share with you is called Know Your Shadow. I feel that a lot of us have had the opportunity to face our shadows and face that darkness or that fear that we've been experiencing recently in a global time with this pandemic, and really being able to get to know and center ourselves in our own light is such a valuable experience. So this is Know Your Shadow. The light within the dark, shining, glory and freedom, expression and joy, peace, an experience of becoming the light, embodiment of the truth of who you are, for you are glory, you are joy, and you are expression. And when you meet her, you meet and discover and dance with your own truth. You do know her. You know yourself in a way that cannot be seen. It cannot be touched, and it cannot be explained, for you are and she is. The I am. The knowing and all the reasons why. The shadow. It follows the light, for it too knows. It knows when it's time to be clarified and illuminated. Illuminated into its own knowing. It knows when it's time to be seen and discovered and transformed. For the light can only heal. In the light, only the truth can be seen. There is no hiding in the light. There is only hiding from it within every shadow. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. You would not know the light without the dark. You would not know right from wrong, and there would be no growth to be made. There would be no place to go, and there would be no hill to climb. There would be no star to reach for without too the glory of the dark. There is solace and clarity that it too brings. There is depth within that shadow. Let it grow deep. Know and experience that, friend, as it appears to be cleansed within your true light. You were born to shine, so let it be cleansed. Let it be new, and let joy reign and truth be sung from the highest of the mountains. Know your shadow, for she is too your friend. Know your anger, for she too has a story to tell. But most importantly, know your light, for she is where you shine. Thank you.
This last song is another song I wrote called Once We Built This House, and it's a song of hope. It's about how sometimes in life your world gets completely knocked upside down and things are taken from you and you suffer a bunch of loss, and it can feel like your emotional house is just destroyed and you don't really recognize who you are anymore. And all you can do then is just start over and start building a new house. And sometimes in life, I've noticed when I've experienced the most destruction, when my life has completely been turned upside down, those times have been the most transformative for me. And sometimes with every ending, there's a new beginning. And sometimes you don't realize what's happening until after the fact, and you say, oh, okay, well, I guess if that hadn't happened, then I wouldn't have had this. So yeah, that's what this is about. Here's Once We've Built This House.
Here it is as I knew it would be. you are as I saw you in a dream. These walls that are shaking gave me my whole life. This floor, it is moving beyond me, out of sight. And once we've built this house, we will never look back. And once we've climbed our reach, we will look to the sky and give our whole lives to what once was nothing. We'll give our whole lives to what once was nothing. Castles are made just to only fall at our feet. These rooms, they are changing, and I am not as complete. You were the one who would crawl to me on your knees, and she was the one who I always thought I'd see. Once we've built this house, we will never look back. And once we've climbed our reach, we will look to the sky and give our whole lives to what once was nothing. We'll give our whole lives to what once was nothing. Hope, give me hope, give me hope, it'll hold. Hope, give me hope, give me hope, it'll hold. Once we've built this house, we will never look back. And once we've climbed our reach, we will look to that sky and give our whole lives to what once was nothing. Yeah. We'll give our whole lives to what once was nothing.
Good morning, and thank you, Emily, and thank you, Angel. Wow, I am inspired. What really gives me hope, in addition to the kind of word and music that we've been hearing from these two wonderful individuals, is the fact that they are the up-and-coming generation, and to know that there's bright lights like that out there, I am inspired and indeed hopeful. And and Emily's song just reminded me of one of my favorite lines from one of my spiritual philosophers and inspirations, Steely Dan, where it said, "Any minor world that falls apart breaks together again." So just keep that in mind. And some of us, I know I have had my minor world fall apart and come back together again. The consistent thing for me has always been giving forth from whatever energy level I had, whatever substance I had that was in my life at the moment, knowing that as I continue to participate in the flow, that things would grow from there. And my teacher used to say, if there ain't no flow, there ain't no grow. And so giving is all about participating in the flow, knowing that we have something to give, knowing that we can be part of that flow. And that's why we talk about this each week, to support and not only grow personally, but to grow our Center for Spiritual Living Cultural Coast, to move through these confusing times at best. When I talk to my neighbors and friends, we're all generally confused regardless of which side of the issue we've been on. These are different times. As you may notice, it's constantly changing. It's not the same as it was last week or the week before. So here we are to support this wonderful thing, the Center for Spiritual Cultural Coast. It is worldwide. The internet has allowed us to do that, this wonderful technology that we have access to, and Evan is posting 4 different technological ways to give. In addition to the good old, plain old standby of snail mail, you can write the address on an envelope, put that stamp on there, and put a check inside, and away we go. We have supported, we have circulated, we are in the flow. So in this moment, I know that we are always in the flow, that there is a flow that is moving in through, and as each and every one of us, it is the infinite spirit that is moving and expressing itself in, through, and as all of us. And I know as we prepare our gifts, our offerings, our support for this center, that each giver and each gift is divinely blessed and divinely ordained. So I'm grateful to know this truth, grateful to speak it, and grateful to share it with all of you. And so it is. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rev G. I receive the gift of life and pass it on. I receive the gift of love and pass it on. I receive the gift of joy and pass it on. I receive all good, pass it on. I receive the gift of life and pass it on. I receive the gift of love and pass it on. I receive the gift of joy and pass it on. I receive all good and pass it on.
Thank you. Don't go far. I'm just going to do our announcements real quickly. I'm just overflowing with gratitude for Angel and Emily, and I see your comments, and I see that you are as well, and we're so blessed, and thank you, Rev G. We're just so blessed by such a beautiful community. And I just want to that idea that Emily just sang about, the give our lives. We give our lives to what was once nothing. That's what practitioners do, right? That we're looking for a change. We're looking to create. We're looking to shift something that's not there now. We're trying to bring into form. I love that line in her song. I just love that. We give our whole lives to what was once nothing. just merely 2 years ago, this community wasn't anything. It was once nothing. Yes? So check in. What do you give your lives to? And check in that if you need support, please seek out myself, Rev G, our practitioners. Please, please do that. Please do that. Very quickly, Zoom is back on. I'm going to be posting the Zoom link here in just a minute. I want to talk to you. So come on, join us. A deeper conversation is a great way to connect in community. Next week, Julie and Effie start our meditation again, our Thursday evening meditation. You want to be on our email list so you're getting the link and the information around that. Visioning continues on Tuesday mornings, and we started a new class last week, and we got cool stuff going on. We're going to stay connected in community. You let me know if you have some ideas of how we can stay connected in community, because it is so very important. Know that you're loved. Come on in, Bobby. Bobby's going to close us out.
Thank you, Reverend Theresa. And like she said, reach out. Reach out. And if you would like specifically prayer support, if you'd like to email prayer@cslculturalcoast.org, please do that. And then with the Youngblood song, Get Together. Let's keep it together. Get it together. Love is but the song we sing, and fear's the way we die. Make the mountains ring, or make the angels cry. Know the dove is on the way, and you need not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another. Some may come and some may go, we will surely pass. When the one that brought us here shines through us at last, we are but a moment's sunlight shining in the grass. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. If you hear the song I sing, you will understand. Listen. You hold the key to love and fear right in your trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both. It's there at your command. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now.